Hello everyone and welcome to CadoinkStudios. Today I have a TvZ for you on Ohana. Spawning in the bottom right we have Marine does not equal GG, the Terran player who sent me this replay, and his opponent is of course Deadline, the red Zerg player spawning up in the top left. This is a special treat. This is the first replay co-cast I've done in a long time. I've been doing some tournaments with Boisterous, but we haven't got the chance to just take a community replay and just cast it and have fun with it. So today I am joined with BoisterousSC2. Say hello, Boisterous.
Hello, Cadoink. I'm kind of offended that you took so long to actually say my name. I was expecting my name to be said a lot more during that intro.
You know, actually I have been posting stuff on Reddit and posting stuff in the Battle.net, and I was given some advice saying that I should intro the players immediately and then kind of do all my ad-libbing. That way, if something like a 6 pool crops up, I can kind of start talking about that immediately rather than having to intro the players and then talk about it. So that's one of the reasons why it was so delayed. But
I guess I can get that. I mean, it would have been way better if you introed both players as me, actually, just to get my name in this video more.
oh yeah,
But I guess that's okay.
yeah. You should send me a replay. Maybe I'll cast it. Actually, I do have a replay of yours that I might cast. Maybe.
That ZVZ I showed you a little while ago?
Yeah, I do need to cast that.
It's insane.
So anyway, Marine GG was the one who sent me this replay. He is a diamond level Terran player, high diamond. I don't know exactly how high, but I'm guessing top 8, top 15, something like that. And Deadline is actually a Master League player. So Marine trying to push into the Master League with each game he plays, and he said this was a very good TvZ here on Ohana. Ohana, a fairly balanced map, might be a little bit Terran favored. I don't actually know if that's true, but overall it's a pretty decent map. No one seems to veto it in map pools. Everyone seems to enjoy it.
Well, it's definitely one of the best maps that Blizzard has in its current ladder pool. However, I actually think it's a little bit Zerg favored just because of the ease of taking that third base. And the amount, and like, you know, there's basically, you don't need to spread any creep to protect your third or your fourth.
Right.
They're all in a line and they're all extremely close.
I see what you're saying. I guess I'm kind of under the impression that Zergs have been having an easy time taking three bases on most maps, and so I kind of feel like if it's easy to take a third, it's kind of almost Terran favored, because there are a lot of maps where Terrans are the ones having trouble getting that third base, and Zergs are just expanding like crazy. It seems like with the recent Queen buff, they've been... It hasn't been so much that the buff has made the creep spread better, it's just made Zergs more confident in building more Queens, and that confidence and that extra influx in Queens have allowed them to further push that creep, allowing them to take those bases a lot easier than they could, you know, a few patches ago.
Yeah, and actually, I do think that the buff helped with creep spread, just because, you know, if you have 4 queens, you're going to be creep spreading way faster, because eventually at some point you're going to forget to use the energy on those queens, so then you can just leapfrog creep tumors out really fast, and you can, you know, build a 1 creep tumor worth of space in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is very expedited.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the queen's got a creep tumor buff, it's that players are more confident in building them, so they build more of them, which has been so nice for Zergs. Even before the patch, I've always been wondering why Zerg players weren't getting at least 1 extra queen more often, and trying to push that creep, as I think is just such a huge advantage to Zerg players.
Yeah, definitely. I think most players were actually going for that 3rd queen, but the issue is that queens cost 2 food apiece.
Right.
So, you know, every queen that you get is A, less drones that you can make in the early game, because you need more overlords, you know, before you can build those drones. And B, it's the smaller army size you have, which when you're against a Terran player, a good Terran player will, once he gets up to that macro stage, he's just going to build orbitals and start killing SCVs, so his army is already going to be so much larger than yours.
Right.
And you cannot have that kind of wasted supplies on queens and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. The patch certainly makes them, certainly grants a little more access to wasting that extra supply. So we do have Marine going for the double Hellion play, also getting 2 more barracks up, so we will have 3 barracks going to be transitioning out of the Hellions into a more standard bio play. We'll see what these Hellions can do and how many he opts to get. Might go for 2, might go up all the way to 6, sometimes even 8, and see if he can deny a little bit of creep spread from his opponent. In the meantime, it looks like Deadline is just kind of doing the normal stuff. He's got an Evolution Chamber up in case there's any kind of Cloaked Banshee play. He can get his upgrades. I imagine he'll start getting that +1 attack on probably his Zerglings. And finally getting his Gas Geysers up, actually taking all 4, so we could see some early layer play out of Deadline.
We're actually seeing Deadline forget his Zergling speed, or maybe just not go for it on purpose. However, that's definitely an odd upgrade not to get, because it's just so key to this matchup. And this is going to be a very late Zergling speed, even if he starts it right now.
Yeah, Zergling speed allows you to kind of catch up to those Hellions and surround them, but when you have slow Zerglings, the Hellions can just outmaneuver them and just constantly attack them without taking that much damage, and you can actually kill a lot of Zerglings that way. So I'm also surprised to see no Zergling speed come out of Deadline. He has a lot of gas. I don't see any reason for him to be saving it up. He's not getting his lair. He's not getting any upgrades. He just kind of is getting this gas, finally putting down a Baneling speed, first bit of gas usage, and +1 attack for his Zerglings. But yeah, it's very, very odd that he's not getting that Zergling speed up.
Yeah, and I'm expecting him currently to be going for that 3rd base very soon, because he already killed off those destructible rocks with his Zerglings. And because, again, 3rd bases are extremely easy to take on this map, and he's getting quite oversaturated as natural. Actually, extremely oversaturated as natural. He has like 10 too many drones there. The 3rd base is just about to go down. This creep spread is already very ridiculous.
Yeah, the creep spread is very good. Another thing I like is after he saw the Hellion play, he decided to put a Spore Crawler down just to be safe. A lot of times we'll see Terran players transition from double Hellion into a Banshee play. It's been very, very common for a lot of players like Gonzi. I think I've seen Hart do this. Several players do it. But it looks like Marine going for a more standard play, something more along the lines of what we've been seeing TvZ do a lot of Bioforces, really strong timings. He's getting that upgrade up, getting Stem, going to be getting Combat Shield after that. His natural is taken and well protected by several bunkers. There's no chance of a big Baneling bust doing that much damage considering the spread on his bunkers and this nice little supply depot wall that he has. And I suspect he'll be just getting up a nice little army and working towards getting a 3rd base.
And can I just really quickly point out that Deadline just made 16 drones.
Wow.
That's kind of insane. it's a lot of drones.
Yeah, he's droning up very hard.
And we see that his Zergling speed isn't even finished yet. It's like the 11-minute mark, and his Zergling speed is still 30 seconds away. That is so slow.
Yeah, he's waited like the absolute last time for that. We see, oh man, a lot of Hellions coming in and trying to destroy some of these drones. The Zerglings are coming towards them. Might be able to pick off one of the Hellions. Yes, indeed, one of the Hellions do go down. But some nice kiting, and without that Zergling speed, it's really hurting Deadline. Marine is able to do a lot of damage here, picking off a lot of these Zerglings, excuse me, and a huge hit on the drones. But it looks like Zergling speed did just now finish, and he will be able to clean up these Hellions, but not without taking a lot of damage. Yeah,
he's taking a huge loss to Zerglings with that Hellion harass. I mean, Deadline just lost like 90% of his army to that to those Hellions. However, if we look at Marine GG, he's going for just mass Marines, which is not really a play that's favored anymore by any Terran ever.
Yeah, you really have to be on your splits when doing that, and you have to hope that he's not going mass Roach, which he's not in this case, and you also have to hope that you hit him at a time when his Banelings aren't done yet, and then you're going to have brilliant splits. But this is a little bit risky by Marine going out. He's going to be doing some nice creep denial, but considering what he saw, mass Zergling, he knows that Banelings are an option. In fact, he did even see a Baneling, and 17 are morphing at this time, so I'd love to see him deny this creep, maybe pick off this Spinecrawler, which he just did, and I don't know, he might do some damage here, but there's a good chance he could lose all his Marines if he's not careful.
Yeah, definitely, and we see that there are 17 Banelings morphing currently. The only thing that's going to be really good for our Terran player right now is that those Banelings do not have speed, and that's quite the key upgrade for those Banelings.
That's true, but we see most of the Marines have gone down as I just hit 1330, making sure we're at about the same timestamp. And, oh man, yeah, he lost a huge amount of his army there. And the unit loss, Deadline is still very far behind, and Marine managed to do some nice damage to the third. There are actually no drones mining there at this time, just one starting, a second one on its way. We do see in the unit tab only 49 drones. Man, 49 drones is not the amount of drones you want to have when you're a Zerg player. You want to be up at like 60, 70, if you're ret like 90, 100, that sort of number.
Yeah, I definitely think that 80 is kind of the key amount of drones to have in a PvZ or a TvZ.
Yeah, especially on 3 base.
And we see actual wonderful scouting with the creep. He's going to see this medevac coming around the left side of the map, and he already has Zerglings in position to deny that. However, with the SimCity, how it is on these buildings, it might actually still do a reasonable amount of damage, unless it just dies to Spore Crawlers. Yeah, it's just going to die to Spore Crawlers, never mind.
Yeah, the Zergling, the drop didn't do anything. I just hit 15 seconds, 15 minutes, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, just to make sure that everything is a-okay. And finally, we see Marine putting some Marauders into his mix. I love this. What you can actually do is control-click your Marauders, and then right-click to send them forward, and control-click the Marines and send them back, and then start splitting. Because you really want those Banelings to hit the Marauders first, and then the little groups of Marines. But this is a bit scary. There are a lot of Zerglings on the map, a lot of Banelings. Over on this left side, the creep spread is kind of going up into Marine's fourth, which could be a lot of trouble for Marine. I like how he's sending the factory to scout. He really wants to go up and take that watchtower so he can see when that Baneling Zergling army is going to push out.
Yeah, and I think that this Baneling Zergling army at this point is just here to deter attacks. It's going to try to just play a defensive game, because honestly, that's what you want to do against the Terran player at this stage. You just want to keep getting those expansions. We have the attack coming in from the Zerglings. A beautiful surround, and just Banelings landing freaking everywhere.
Luckily he was able to pick some of his army up in the medevacs, but he did, he did lose a lot there. And now he sees that Deadline is taking a fourth, and man, he really needs to get an army up and do some more economic damage. We do see that there are now 82 drones on the field, which is pretty good, especially considering his fourth base is just now starting, and he will be transferring some drones over there. He's going to be mining out in his main here pretty shortly as natural. Not too low, but getting there. So some economic damage really needs to be done by Marine. And yet he's just pushing out again and trying to deny more creep. He's actually done a great job at doing this. But again, another huge Zergling swell, as well as some Corruptors to deal with the medevac, so we'll have to see how this army does.
Yeah, we also see a tech switch being prepared into Broodlords for our Zerg player, and Broodlords are, of course, extremely effective against basically anything Terran can put on the field, except for, that very dangerous, Viking, Thor, Tank, and Marine play. That seems to be the late game for most Terrans. We have a small engagements happening right here. However, there's just not enough Banelings and not enough Infestors to actually deal with this army. A great fungal goes down, and actually a large amount of the army dies. So it looks like this is going to get cleaned up for the Terran player, or not.
Oh man, he did manage to pick off the third base. Another huge fungal going down on all those medevacs, as well as some of the Marauders. Even sending the drones to attack at this time, but that's not what you want to be doing at all. Throw down some Infested Terran if you have the energy, and yeah, use those Corruptors to deal with the medevac, seeing as there are only 2 Marines in this army. And finally, the Zerglings swing in and pick off those Marauders, but not before doing a huge amount of damage. And look at this, another big force by Marine. Some Marines and Marauders going up to the 4th base, and I think he'll be able to destroy this 4th as well, as there are no more Banelings on the field, and I don't even see any more Infestors. In fact, in the unit tab, we only see 1 Infestor.
Yeah, that Infestor does not have enough energy for a fungal, and it just got sniped. Ugh, this is really not looking good for our Zerg player at this point. His 4th base is going to be going down here. A lot of drones dying just to the meat grinder of Terran units. And that's not where you want to be as a Zerg player at this point.
Losing your 3rd, losing your 4th, huge economical hits. And you notice this was right around the time when he started transitioning into Broodlord. So smart. Why our Terran player to hit him at a vulnerable time. He's only able to get 1 Broodlord out at this time because his gas is so low. He really needs those extra bases, not for the minerals, but for the gas, and a huge fungal going down. He will be able to pick off this army. Nice play by Deadline.
Yeah, but even then, this army did its damage. It even sniped the Broodlord in the cocoon, which is, it's not how you want your Broodlords to die. A huge drone pull going down, a lot of nice fungals going down, but there's just so much damage being dealt here. Almost all of the Infestors get picked up. There's only 1 left, and that does not even have enough energy for a fungal.
Oh, that's a horrible position for the Zerg. Terran player trying to take trying to take his 4th base, but man, that creep spread has been so annoying. He really needs to run some units over there and do a scan, but luckily for Deadline, that creep tumor is kind of in an odd place. Actually, he's going to see that this creep has faded away and knows that there's a creep tumor on the high ground. So never mind. But Marine is in a great position. Absolutely great position.
Yeah, he is. And we see another force getting pulled in. And this force actually isn't as large as I would have expected it to be at this stage in the game. It should be large enough to deal with the remaining Zerg forces, just because there's no AoE out for these Zerg player, and both Blue Blue Lords are going to get sniped almost instantaneously.
Yeah, huge blunder for
But, I mean, yeah, that was just not where you wanted your Blue Lords to be. And lucky guy.
So lucky,
Indeed.
yeah. Just a great game by Marine. Would love to see some more barracks being placed down, as he was kind of sitting at around the 1500 mineral mark there at the end, just so he could, his forces would be bigger each time he attacked. But overall, great play by Marine. I absolutely loved it. Constantly trying to deny that 3rd and 4th base, not going in for like a direct kill, like into the natural or anything, but just trying to do economic damage, which is exactly what you need to do in TvZ. So yeah, thank you so much for sending me that replay, Marine. I enjoyed casting this game for you. I hope you enjoy it too, and please feel free to send some more. I have many more replays I need to cast, and then I can do another one of yours. I'd be happy to. In other news, I am going to be moving tomorrow, which is a huge deal. I have an apartment in Kansas now, and so I will be going across country starting tomorrow and working on moving in. I should have internet by this Saturday, at the time of the video being uploaded, the next Saturday. But Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to be like moving beds and couches and all this sort of thing. And then after that, got about 2 weeks till school starts, so expect a lot of casts in that little time period. And once school starts, I'll be on a better schedule. So anyway, I'd like to thank Boisterous for helping me cast this replay. We're going to start doing more casting together as well in the near future. So Boisterous, give yourself a shout out. Tell them about your channel. You have the floor.
Well, all of you guys can check out my channel over at youtube.com/user/BoisterousSC2. I do only community casts there. There's actually not a single video of myself or of any pros on my channel currently, just because I feel like it's important to get the spotlight on all of you people that spend their time doing ladder games. It's so much fun to cast your games, and it's so much fun just to get that feedback from you guys. And that's kind of all I have to say, because I'm actually not going to ask for replays in the same video where Cadoink asks for replays for him.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, please send replays to CadoinkReplays@gmail.com, and if you'd like them co-casted with Boisterous, just say so, and we'd be very, very happy to do that. We love casting together. We've been doing it for a while now, and we had a little bit of a lull. Both our Julys were quite heavy in the busy factor, but we will have more time in the near future. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please check out more of my videos on my channel, and please go subscribe to Boisterous. He's an awesome guy. And so yeah, we will see you guys later.